సర్క్యులర్ ఎకానమీ పాలసీ 2 ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ పేరుతో స్థానిక నోవోటెల్లో నిర్వహించిన జాతీయ స్థాయి వర్క్షాప్ గురువారం ఉదయం ప్రారంభమైంది. వర్క్షాప్ లో వివిధ రంగాల నిపుణులు, సంస్థలు, ప్రతినిధులు, కేంద్ర రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వాలు, అధికారులు భాగస్వామ్యమయ్యారు.
Should bring all our efforts together onto a very planned and systematic course of action. That is why, in the best traditions of cooperative federalism, the central and state government, and by central government we mean not only the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, but the other line ministries, sister departments, we and the state governments, we need to work together first to recognize the potential of this entire principle of circularity, and to also recognize the potential harm that it has if we do not address this challenge. Along with this whole approach of cooperative federalism, we need to bring in the involvement of the entire society. That is why whole of government and whole of society approach is the only way that we will be able to make this whole approach and this whole philosophy of circularity succeed at the ground level and actually achieve some concrete outcomes. When we talk about whole of society approach, we must understand that today the whole management of waste as we see it is something that affects not only our cities but our rural areas, and in the absence of clear institutional systems, in the absence of capacity building of the local bodies, whether of rural or urban areas, we would be only talking about the philosophy and the principles, but long-term sustained impact would not be ensured. So when we talk about skill, we of course need to focus on the technical skills, because when we retrieve wealth from this so-called waste material, when we retrieve precious metals from electronic and electrical items, when we properly manage waste tires to retrieve carbon black, and so many other examples are there. All of this, of course, requires skill upgradation, and that is why we have specially reached out to the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. There is a huge focus on skill development, and in this year's budget, I'm sure all of you are aware, and I hope that during the course of the discussions, this would be discussed in more detail. There is an entire focus that is being given to skill development, to upgrading ITIs, to taking skills to the next level.
Identify the critical gaps which are there and identify solutions for promoting entrepreneurship, employment and skill in the sector of circular economy. So we had, in the virtual meeting, we had requested the state governments to start engaging with the concerned stakeholders who are involved in this entire sector of circular economy, and start developing feedback notes to ultimately achieve the objective of this exercise. So this workshop is actually the beginning of a very big exercise which will culminate into the National Conference of Chief Secretary, and states have a very important role to play in that, in terms of providing what is happening on the ground and what are the gaps which needs to be filled, and finally making recommendations which will be discussed during the Chief Secretary's conference, and we might be coming up as an outcome of that conference a kind of roadmap which will be followed by the state governments, by the central ministries, to actually realize the actual potential of entrepreneurship, of jobs which is existing in the circular economy, by developing entrepreneurship, by filling the skilling gaps, and also filling the gaps in respect of infrastructure and the financial ecosystem. So I will not take much of time here. Today, what we have done, we have allocated certain waste stream to the states and expected them to present to us that the kind of ecosystem which is there, the kind of work which is being done, and we will try to draw, because every state has different.
Respected Secretary, Government of India, Environment and Forest, Madam Leela Nandanji, Shri Naresh Pal Gangwarji, Additional Secretary, MOEF, Shri Harindra Prasad, District Collector, Visakhapatnam, Shri Chalpati Rao Garu, MD, APMCL, Shri Satyendra Paul, Director in the Ministry, MOEF, representatives, dignitaries, senior officials from various states and from the Ministry, Government of India, CPCB officials, municipal commissioners, representatives of the pollution control boards of various states. It's my privilege and honor to welcome all of you to the state of Andhra Pradesh. I thank profusely Secretary Madam for giving this opportunity to the state of Andhra Pradesh to host this workshop in the sunrise state of Andhra Pradesh, particularly after the new government has been formed and has taken over charge. The stage has already been set by the ministry, Madam Leela Nandanji, through that virtual workshop held on 21st, and sufficient background has already been given, and all of us are conscious and aware of the task ahead of us. However, today's our commitment to embrace this circular economy is driven by a profound recognition